Hey everyone, welcome back. In today's video, the question we're going to be answering is Satan in heaven? I discovered that a lot of people actually think that Satan lives on the earth. And some people have actually given some biblical evidence to support this view. And I'd like to begin by reviewing a few of that with all of us. Take, for example, and the Lord said unto Satan, Whence comest thou? Then Satan answered the Lord and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. So it suggests that Satan, just like any other human being, actually lives among us. If you also read Luke chapter 10, verse 18, you see Jesus Christ saying, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. So it's like Satan fell from heaven, perhaps due to his disobedience, and then became a human being or something. If you also read Revelation chapter 12, verses 7 to 8, you see that there was a war in heaven that Satan and his demons lost. And then in verse 12, it says that Satan is come down to us, human beings, because he has but a short time and stuff like that. It's actually funny. Some people have even gone as far to say that Satan actually lives in Turkey. Because in Revelation chapter 2, verse 13, when Jesus Christ was addressing the church of Pergamos, which corresponds to today's city of Pergamon in Turkey, he said, I know thy works and where thou dwellest, even where Satan's seat is. So they interpret that as, okay, Satan actually lives there. But I actually hold the view that Satan the devil does not live on this earth and that he in fact lives in heaven. And the reason why I hold this view is for a couple of reasons. First things first, Satan the devil is an angel, right? And you might think, wait, doesn't an angel have to be righteous to be an angel? Well, actually, no. If you read Psalm 78, verse 49, we see the reference made to evil angels, meaning that an angel is simply someone who lives in heaven, a heavenly son of God. If you read Genesis chapter 6, verses 2 to 4, you see that there were angels who disobeyed God by coming to this earth to marry the daughters of men. So Satan the devil is an angel, and the Bible tells us that angels are spirits. As the psalmist said, who maketh his angels spirits and his ministers a flaming fire. And spirits are people who live in heaven. Spirits cannot live on the earth. So it's based on this idea that I personally don't agree with the fact that Satan lives on the earth, because he is by all means a spirit creature, an angel. It's just that an angel that has disobeyed God. Just as we have people in this world, they're equally citizens of countries, but maybe they've committed crimes, they are not patriotic, they've disobeyed the laws of the land. So they're not like other citizens, but that doesn't mean they are not citizens. But then the second thing I want to get at is the fact that all of these verses that tend to say like, okay, Satan fell down from heaven, and because he fell down from heaven, he came to the earth and so on. Heaven and earth in the Bible do not only refer to places of abode. Of course, there are many places in the Bible that do refer to it like this, like Psalm 115, verse 16, the heavens, even the heavens are the Lord's, and the earth hath he given to the children of men. But heaven and earth also represent status and position. So for example, the leaders of this world were often referred to as living in heaven because they have authority, they have power over other people. Whereas people who have no authority, no respect, no power, they're considered to be on the earth. And let me give you a couple of examples of where heaven and earth are used in this context. If you read Lamentations chapter 2, verse 1, Jeremiah the prophet was lamenting over all the terrible things that had happened to Israel as a result of their sins and how God was punishing them as a result. And he said, How hath the Lord covered the daughter of Zion with a cloud in his anger, and cast down from heaven onto the earth the beauty of Israel, and remembered not his footstool in the day of his anger. We see the beauty of Israel was cast from heaven onto the earth. Now, Israel was never in heaven, right? They've always been an earthly nation, but it's talking about that respect that they lost. If you also read Jeremiah chapter 51 verse 53 and Job chapter 20 verse 6, it talks about people being proud and mounting themselves onto heaven and how God was saying he was going to cast them down. And all those verses that say that Satan the devil was cast onto the earth, they're said in that context. It's not that Satan the devil is actually a human being. Because, just kind of going on with that idea, there are a lot of questions that are difficult to answer, like, okay, how long has Satan been a human being? Because some people believe that, oh, he's been a human being since he sinned. That's why in the Garden of Eden, right, he was actually present there. And that was how he deceived Adam and Eve. But then, okay, he's a human being. Well, how long has he been living? Has he been living for thousands of years? Whereas all of the other human beings have been dying, but he, for example, just happened to survive, right? It doesn't really, there are just a lot of questions that are hard to answer if we tend to tread that line. Whereas it becomes very simple when we see it like he's a spirit, and spirits have the ability to influence other human beings, which is why the world is the way it is. Satan, the devil, has influenced humanity to buy into corruption and bribery and war and all other kinds of things. That's why Satan and his hosts, the demons, were referred to as principalities and powers in Ephesians chapter 6 verse 12. And that's why Satan was called the prince of this world in John chapter 12 verse 31 and chapter 14 verse 30. So I think that when it comes to the question as to whether Satan lives in heaven or not, the answer is yes, he lives in heaven. But when it says that he was cast out from heaven onto the earth, it means that as a result of his rebellion, a time came when God took the power that Satan used to have over this world and handed it to his son, Jesus Christ, when he was crowned king over the kingdom. If you read Psalm 21 verse 3, thou preventest him with the blessings of goodness. Thou settest a crown of pure gold on his head. And then he was told to rule the world instead of Satan the devil. And then there was a war in heaven that happened as a result of that contest for power. And then because Jesus Christ won, Satan lost that influence. And that's actually why we see so many changes in the world that are in the direction of freedom and peace and happiness and so on and so forth. And we've made many other videos that discuss that change of power that's happened in our time. But Satan lives in heaven. And that's the answer to that question. So if you enjoyed this video and learned something new today, I would appreciate if you click the like button and also the subscribe button. And if you want to be notified when I come back with another video, you can click the notification bell. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon.